So, guys, Christian Parker came in this offseason and already started changing the way this Cowboys defense operates. And look, there's been real progress. We can see this, but there's still one spot in the secondary that hasn't been settled yet. And trust me, whoever wins that battle is going to matter a lot for how this unit performs as a whole. Today, I'm breaking down exactly where things stand, who's got my attention, and there's also a position battle on the offensive side that I want to get into too. What's up, Cowboys? Welcome to the NFL Playbook, Cowboys. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So right now, the biggest competition going on in this Cowboys secondary is at cornerback, and trust me, whoever comes out on top of that battle is going to have a huge impact on how this entire defense performs this season. Starting with Cobie Durant, he's honestly the guy with the least questions right now. Out of everybody in that cornerback room, he's the one I'm least worried about. I think he's going to be fine. He'll do his job, he'll be solid, and I don't think there's a lot of mystery to what he brings. That's actually a good thing when you're building a secondary. You want guys you can count on without having to wonder every single week. And I think Cobie Durant is that guy. He's not going to be a headache, he's just going to show up and compete, and right now that's exactly what this room needs from him. Then you've got DaRon Bland, and honestly, we haven't even seen him practice yet. But if he's healthy, I imagine he'll be fine too. Guys like that, when they've got the talent and the experience behind them, you just need them healthy and on the field. So that's a bit of a wait-and-see situation, but I'm not panicking there either. You get him healthy, you get him out there with the group, and I think he slots in just fine. Now, the third one is Caleb Downs, and the conversation around him is a little different. The way I see it, I don't think they're going to keep him in the nickel spot the whole season. I think there's going to be situations where they've got three corners on the field and they put a real corner in that nickel role instead. I think Caleb could end up on the outside at some point too, depending on matchups and how the rotation develops. All three of these guys honestly could have a real opportunity to step up and make a name for themselves this season if things break right. And that's what makes this room genuinely interesting to watch, because the opportunity is there for somebody to grab it. But here's where it gets important. The guy I keep coming back to, and the one who I think this whole secondary genuinely depends on, is Shavon Revel. And I say that with full conviction, full confidence. If Revel takes a massive leap this season, this cornerback room goes from being a question mark to being something real. That's how much I think his development matters here. He is the key piece. Everything kind of builds around what he does or doesn't do. And the reason I feel that way is because physically, this dude has the best tools in that entire room. You're talking about a guy who is a legit 6'3", stocky, fast, physical. He's got everything you want in a corner at the NFL level. You look at him, and the measurables are right there. And yeah, he can be a little handsy, but honestly, I'm fine with that. I don't think this is going to be a super press-heavy team across the board. I think they're going to have one specific guy who does that job, and I think Shavon Revel is going to be that designated guy. That role fits him perfectly when you think about what he brings physically. And the thing is, from what I've been seeing, Shavon Revel looks like he's genuinely back to himself out there and getting real praise during these practices. And look, last season was tough for him. He came in dealing with an ACL tear from college, only got 7 games in, finished with 35 tackles and 3 passes defensed. That's not the real Shavon Revel. But now he's got a full offseason under his belt. He's healthy, and from everything we're seeing, this guy is locked in. That's the version of him this defense has been waiting for. So what it really comes down to is retention. Can he retain Christian Parker's information? Can he take everything that's being installed in that system and go apply it on the field when it matters? Because I think that's the first part of this whole equation. The ceiling of this cornerback room, I genuinely believe, depends on how much Shavon Revel can absorb and execute week in and week out. Right now, though, if I'm being completely straight with you, it's a question mark, a big one. I think certain guys in that room have shown flashes of things that I like, but the room as a whole is still unknown territory, and I think everybody who's been watching this team closely knows that. You can like the pieces, you can appreciate the talent, but until you see it translate on the field in real game situations, it's still just potential. That's just the truth about where this secondary stands right now. One more thing I want to say about the corners before I move on. I don't think this team is going to end up with multiple Pro Bowl corners or anything like that. That's not really the expectation here, and I think it's important to be realistic about that. but I do think they can be solid. And honestly, after how bad this defense looked last year, if the corners can just be solid, know their assignments, not get torched on a consistent basis, I think that's genuinely good enough. I think that's a real upgrade from what we saw. They have the guys to do that as long as they stay healthy. That's the big key. Christian Parker being there, his background, his specialty in this area, I think that matters a lot for how this room develops over the course of the season. Okay, now let's shift over to the backup running back spot, because this is a conversation I've been wanting to get into as well. And look, it's a different kind of situation compared to the corners. With the corners, I feel like the talent is there and it's more about development and scheme retention. With the backup running back situation, I'm genuinely a little uncertain about what the production level is going to look like when Javonte Williams isn't on the field. The two names that keep coming up are Phil Mafah and Jaydon Blue, and honestly, I like both guys. I like their individual skill sets. I think they both bring something legitimate to the table. Blue has the speed and the home run ability. Like when he gets the ball in open space, there's a real big play potential there that you just can't teach. That's something. And Phil Mafah, I mean, the size and the physicality are obvious, but honestly, he also has some wiggle to him that I think people are sleeping on right now. He's more versatile than the initial impression suggests, and I think that's going to show up when he gets real opportunities. The thing is, though, we still need to see consistency at this level. Jaydon Blue showed us flashes last year with 129 yards and a touchdown against the Giants, while Phil Mafah's rookie year was completely derailed by that shoulder injury on IR. So, there's still a lot we don't know about them sustaining a steady workload. Now, Malik Davis, and look, I'll be straight about this. He's a veteran, he's reliable, and there's real value in that. He's shown he can be available when called upon and get the job done without major mistakes. But I think everybody who follows this team closely knows that he's a high-floor, low-ceiling player. He is what he is. There's no mystery to his game and no real upside to chase with him. And I think that's honestly why the Cowboys are giving Phil Mafah and Blue the reps and the opportunity right now. And honestly, training camp is going to be very telling for both of them. These are the moments that define careers. You either show up when the opportunity is in front of you or you don't. They want to see if one of those guys can genuinely be the answer at running back too, because if one of them steps up, you don't need to go looking elsewhere. And the thing is, behind Javonte Williams, with this offensive line, with Dak Prescott running this offense, and with the weapons they have on the outside, you genuinely don't need a superstar at running back too. You really don't. You just need a guy who understands where to be and has a complementary skill set to Javonte and can execute when his number gets called. That bar is achievable for both Phil Mafah and Blue if they can go show it when training camp and preseason rolls around. That's what I'll be watching most closely on that side of the ball. But if neither of those guys can meet that bar, if neither of them gives this team enough confidence heading into the regular season, then I think the Cowboys would absolutely go make a move for another veteran. Because you cannot afford to let this season get derailed because Javonte Williams goes down and suddenly there's no clear answer at running back. That's not a risk any contending team can afford to take. And honestly, that's what makes this training camp so interesting. Both these guys know what's at stake. Blue knows his speed is his ticket. Phil Mafah knows his physicality sets him apart. The competition is real, the opportunity is real, and one of them has a chance to lock down a role on a team that is built to compete this season. I'll be watching every rep. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the coverage as training camp gets going. Cowboys Nation, let's go.